Let's take you now live to Pretoria, where my colleague Vuyo Mvoko is standing by with the Commission's spokesperson, Jeremy Michaels. Ravi, good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on this afternoon. So far, of course, day 3, how has it gone?
Day 3, of course, no different. In fact, if I may say so, I mean, the past 3 days have really been very, very interesting. Not a day actually went by without us really at times feeling, oh my goodness, did that really happen? But of course, this is all about what Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has had to say. Everyone he has spoken about, every name he has dropped is, of course, yet to come forward with their version of the story or responses to whatever Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi has put before the Commission. So eyes now move to whoever is going to come first, or who the Commission is going to call upon come Monday going onwards. And hopefully Jeremy Michaels, the spokesperson of the Commission, is going to enlighten us on that and more. Jeremy, good afternoon. Thanks very much for your time.
Good afternoon, Vuyo.
3 days have gone. Been an exciting one. Everyone glued, to the testimony of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. The question now is, so who are you going to call next?
Let me just say that on the part of the Commission, we certainly are quite pleased that we got out of the starting blocks on the dot 10 o'clock on Wednesday. It was a major milestone for the Commission, of course, given the delay and given the skepticism in the public domain. So the past 3 days, as you say, has been important for the Commission to illustrate that indeed proceedings are underway. And of course, just to cast back on what Advocate Terry Mutau, SC, the chief evidence leader, was saying on Wednesday in his opening statement. He explained how the Commission is going to be approaching, the testimony. And of course, and I think you also made the point that the Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's allegations on the 6th of July is now on the record here at the Commission, under oath. And of course, those allegations, very, very serious allegations, have to be tested. And of course, it will be subjected at some point to cross-examination. As for, to your question, who is coming next, that will be revealed on Monday. Unfortunately, due to security concerns and considerations, we are not at liberty to divulge at this point, but there is going to be another witness, and dare I say, an interesting witness on Monday.
Well, of course, I mean, speaking of what Advocate Terry Mutau, the chief evidence leader, said on Wednesday, he did give a bit of an indication, but having listened to what Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi had to say, how likely is it that the Commission may just go beyond, probably way beyond that list that Advocate Mutau spoke to on Wednesday?
Well, of course, given what has happened on the stand over the last few days, there was already a long list of witnesses that the Commission had in mind. That may or may not be expanded. The evidence leaders will make that call. But of course, it's important that all those implicated are given the opportunity to respond and to cross-examine where they have been implicated. But the evidence leaders will consider, of course, everything that has transpired over the last 3 days and then make those decisions.
You must have thought also about the possibilities of your timelines now having to be flexible, given perhaps some of what came up over the past 3 days. Have you spoken about what then you will be able to do in the event you may have to go beyond whatever timelines you may have set for yourselves?
Well, Vuyo, I think, as you know, we have said consistently that already the timeline was quite tight. 3 months for the interim report to the President and 6 months for the final report. Of course, taking into account also the delay of 17 days or so from the initial start of the public hearings on 1 September. But critically, given what is unfolding, and we have said it before, that we will have to see where the investigation leads, and clearly we can see now, and I think the public will be able to appreciate that just based on Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's testimony over the last 3 days, that may have implications for the timeline. But critically, we are aware of the urgency and we are diligently going about the business of ensuring that we try and meet the deadlines as much as possible.
Perhaps outside of what we've been able to see, are there lingering issues still? Are you worried about anything? Is there anything that you may have experienced over the past 3 days, things which perhaps you didn't think about, or perhaps taken as seriously or as urgently as you perhaps should have?
No, I think logistically, the Secretariat did a very good job of preparing. Here and there were some niggles. For example, the co-commissioners sitting alongside Justice Madlanga didn't have their screens up as they needed. So it's that kind of small logistical, not in any way significant. But here and there, there were a few issues that perhaps could have been avoided, and that's okay. It's a learning curve. But from our perspective, overall, it has been very smooth, actually. And what has been really interesting is of course, we anticipated the public interest, but we didn't quite understand. And from the numbers that I have looked at, in terms of digital exposure and interaction, it's well in excess of 50 million people who have in some way or the other, whether digital or mainstream, accessed the hearings and engaged with this crucial commission of inquiry into the state of our criminal justice system.
This morning, there was a sound that felt like whether it was a bomb or a bullet, I couldn't tell. I mean, I don't know that stuff. But Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi assuring the whole House that, don't worry, we are safe here. Are we as safe as he said we were?
I'm sorry I missed that. I actually saw, I went to review a recording. I was dealing with something outside. But I think that is probably the lightest moment of the 3 days. But from a security point of view, each and every day we are engaging early in the morning, making sure that everything is in place. And of course, on Wednesday morning, we had a little bit of a hiccup with the logistics. We have dealt with that, and firmly, I should say, to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Jeremy Michaels, the spokesperson and head of communications for the Madlanga inquiry, a wrap of this week, but of course also throwing forward to next week. Unfortunately, though he's someone I've known for quite some time, he won't tell me, he wouldn't even whisper as to who exactly that big name that they'll be bringing on Monday is. Well, that's where we're going to leave it for now.